Hello, my name is Alvin Curry, and thank you for joining me here today at myEcon.com. This is part two of what I call our training on success strategies versus wealth strategies. So let's take a quick review of what we mean by success strategies. Success strategies, as I was taught when I was growing up, and many people I've met around the country said they were taught something very similar, was you go to school to get a good education, whether that's a technical degree, a bachelor's degree, or graduate degree. You go out and find yourself a good job. You want a job with benefits. Then you're going to work what's called the 40-40-40 plan. You're going to work for 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire on 40% of your working income. My mother taught us to do good, to go to church, love the Lord, help the poor, and do good. Save a little money for a rainy day because a rainy day is going to come. And then we're supposed to retire and live on Social Security and that 40% of our working income. So, of my mother's 10 children, I am number 6. All of my siblings had gone to college and did all this stuff. I went for actually 1 year out of high school, and I did not like it, so I dropped out and I joined the military. Well, my family was really kind of disappointed with me when I joined the military because that's not what Currys do. I stayed in the military for 7 years, and when I was getting out, they were disappointed again. They said, "Oh, you should stand up." It really has done a lot of good. You shouldn't get out. But I got out anyway. I was living in Tacoma, Washington. I went to work at that time for what's called the cable TV company. I got what they call a good job with a Fortune 500 company. Had good benefits, and I was living paycheck to Monday. You probably heard me talk about that in one of my other series. So in order to help me fix my life, what I decided to do was go back to school and get what they call a good degree. So I went back to school and I got an accounting degree. For going back to college, I went back to college and I said, I'm going to major in accounting. And I love math. I love understood that. I love that school. And so I did good. Now, a typical person going to school may have gone longer than me because I got a lot of credit for my military time in my previous school. But it typically takes 4 to 6 years to get a degree in accounting. While you're in school, you're typically going to earn no income. But you're going to go for 4 to 6 years. You got to take all the classes in whatever curriculum you're in. Not only do you have to take those classes, you have to pass those classes. Tuition today is running somewhere in the neighborhood of about $60,000 to $100,000 a year, depending on what school you go to for a 4-year degree, which is called a bachelor's degree. When you graduate from school, you're going to typically start off with somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30, perhaps as much as $50,000. A few exceptions to that rule may be people who live in some of the high-income cities. They get on with corporations. If they have really good grades, they may make $75,000. But very few people are going to make more than $50,000 when they get out of school. After all of that, they have debt and all those things. But if you want to make 6 figures as an accountant, I understood back then, I had to go back to school and get a master's degree. Well, I didn't want to do that. So now if you go back to school to get a master's degree, that's going to incur another $35,000, maybe $40,000 in additional debt to get a master's degree. Then you need to pass what we call the CPA exam, become a certified public accountant. Now you're going to work another 5 to 10 years for some corporation as what's called a comptroller. You go to work for that corporation and you work there as a comptroller, making $75,000, $80,000, perhaps maybe even $100,000 at that point. And if you're very blessed and get selected to some publicly traded company, you can become CFO of that company. As a CFO, Chief Financial Officer of that company, you will make $100,000, pretty sure of that, if you work with a public company, and that may even be $250,000 to $300,000 a day. That can even be $1 million if it's one of the major Fortune 500 type companies and you are the CFO of that company. Or in my case, I was looking at building my own accounting firm, basically my own tax business. I said, okay, I'm going to do taxes for people and bookkeeping and record keeping. And I would earn 6 figures that way. Now that's called a sole proprietorship. When you go in business for yourself by yourself, and you're going to do all of this work. Now, eventually, maybe I would have hired one or two people along with me, but still, with a small business, if you're doing all you can do to earn six figures to maybe 151 to $200,000. Well, that's a long, hard route of about 20 years to get to six figures. But that was my plan. What's your plan to get to six figures where you are today on your job? See, if you went through the success process, you got the education, you got the student loan, you got all of these things, and you thought that you'd be earning more money than you are today, what is your plan? If you need a plan, let's talk. I would love to have a conversation with you. Reach out to me at trustalvincurry.com. You can leave me a message there. I'll reach back out to you. You can follow me on LinkedIn, trustalvincurry.me. You can DM me. Or my phone number is on all of my websites, all of my LinkedIn pages. You can simply call me, text me, leave me a message, and I'll be happy to talk to you. Let's have a conversation about success strategies versus wealth strategies. Again, thank you for joining me here today. We are blessed to be a blessing, and we would love to have a conversation with you. Thank you.